Diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging is an important pillar for the success of any organization or community. However, it is seen that there is a lack of diverse voices in many technological communities and organizations. So, this panel discussion attempt to address this problem heads on. The discussion will revolve along the importance of this concept and the current shortcomings faced by the underrepresented folk. The session will also talk in detail about bringing more underrepresented folks, especially women, into the technological industry. So now we have a panel of four. Here, Anuja Bashir, who is the CMO of FlexiCloud and CEO of Aura, and Nisha Elsa, CEO of Talk Digital, Hida CK, independent web professional and co-organizer of WordCamp Kerala, and Asha Aniburs, who is a senior software engineer at Samux and co-organizer of Magneto Meetup Kochi. So let's have the panel discussion get started. So heading over to our topic, like how much important is diversity in a technological industry? So over to Anuja ma'am.
I always get the complicated questions. Anyway, the thing is that, like she said, women in tech is something very um, hard to find, especially if you ask me in a Kerala tech ecosystem. There are so many people who are into technology. But unfortunately, when it comes to women founders, I'm talking because I handle a lot of ecosystem. I'm not really a part of this Kerala tech ecosystem. I'm a startup mentor to about 25 incubators. So I've seen both north, east, west. So compared to the other ecosystems, what I find in Kerala is it's very hard to see women, especially in tech. You call them women in tech. They might not be actually in tech, but connected to tech. But prominence of women, since you're talking about diversity as such, me being a woman and I specifically focus on the women's sector, though I'm a DEI evangelist. So me being in that particular sector, I found that it's very hard for the entire ecosystem to acknowledge, yes, women can be in tech. That they are not the only people who can do any other, especially when it's like the first notion of most of the the other stakeholders of the ecosystem is that, yeah, women means either it would be a D2C brand or maybe something connected to creativity. See, the time is gone that, women are in tech. I mean, it's a competition is like, let's not bring gender in. Let's give us the opportunity. I never say, recently, since this topic came in, I'm just mentioning, I was having an interview with the She Digital TV thing. So the first question she was asked, I'm a DA evangelist. The first question she asked me is, how many women you have in your organization in the CXO post? One. Two, her question is that, how many number of members you have in your organization? So I said, see, I'm not here to bring in every woman to the ecosystem and wipe off the male part from that. I'm not talking about that. The diversity, what I'm talking about is that give opportunity to everybody, whether it is man, whether it is women, whether it is transgender, everybody needs a platform. You give that to them, and on the basis of skill, you choose them. But the problem is that you're not given the opportunity. That is the reason specifically I became a DA evangelist, because on my journey I understood that it's hard for this segment to come in ahead and we are speaking, okay. But the problem is that, when in a huge crowd, I'm talking my experience and the people from whom I've heard, it's like out of there are 9 men and maybe 9 or 7 men and 3 women. The thing is that, for the women to talk, it's very hard, because the notion is that men know tech more than women. So that is something, that cliche is something which I see that through diversity we can break, and we can you can bring the opportunity. It is empowering, is not, nobody needs to get empowered, everybody are empowered. The question is that give the opportunity on a normal basis, where everybody can come in and let them prove why diversity is given a chance, is that opportunity is not there. So to to provide that platform, diversity has come in, and in G20, this is one of the most agenda that to promote diversity. Yeah, I think I've given an answer to it. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. So now over to Nisha, ma'am. Like, because being an entrepreneur and you need to spend a lot of time dedicating to your work, your business things, and also being a mother, which needs more attention and care to be given. So as a woman, we have seen less participation of women in technology, as she have told, and also other gender underrepresented folks also. So how can we break these glass ceilings and bring these gender like underrepresented folks to tech industry?
Thank you. So, I am in IT industry for more than 20 years now. So out of that, 17 years I've been an employee, and 15 years I'm a working mother. So for me, I really know, and that too, I come from a period when the luxury of internet and work from home and things of that sort were not there. We ideally had to sit in office and work, and after coming back home, to the our accessibility was a question. So if there is an extra work that has to be done, that has to be finished from office, when while we are away from the kid and the family. So what I feel is uh, there is a lot of the women sector going for career break is just because the issue of their availability is not being addressed. So if that is addressed, you can bring a lot more women crowd into the tech industry. So it's like when when a recruitment is done, or when it comes to women in tech, the challenges that the business owners raise is like, oh, will she get married soon? Will she get pregnant soon? Will she take the maternity leave and we will have to go for a replacement? So they have a series of questions to be answered when they hire an employee. And when it is a female, when it's a woman, they hardly check what is the skill set. You know, you have to focus on the skill set, but no, unfortunately, our industry is focusing on the challenges that are going to come along with them. So that is one point that needs to be addressed, and if that is addressed, if the corporates are ready to address that, we can definitely make a change. That's what I believe, because in Talk Digital, I've started doing that, and it is successful, because what I feel better with the ladies who are having a break or having they have restarted, because they are more consistent and they are very productive. I haven't seen a difference between the two. If we are training them properly, they are ready to do the work and they're very committed, and they don't come every morning with multiple offer letters. They stick. That's the biggest thing. They stick. But then there is a stigma. People are not ready to come into this because of uh, the work culture that is being followed. Definitely after COVID, there is a change. There are a lot of corporates are giving the work from home option. And then, having said that, even the women crowd, I would tell them that they will also have to take the next step. It's not that everything has to be perfect for you to start. There will be no time that things will be perfect, because as you are a woman, you will have to have these challenges along with you. So it's how we tackle it. For example, last day, I got a because I Talk Digital is an Australian company, so we have a lot of Australian clients. So last day 7 a.m. was around noon for them. So the client pinged me, said he needs an urgent call. I was cooking breakfast. I was making dosa for my son, because son has to go to school at 7:20. The van comes. So busy. I got his message, and then he will not. He's not a client who pings me on phone if there's nothing urgent. So he has to be addressed. So I'm a business owner there. I'm a mother there. So what I did is I openly told him it's 7 a.m. here, and I'm cooking my breakfast. If it is okay that I can handle a call while doing my work, I can. I was just transparent to him. He said, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that it's 7 a.m. there. Is it okay for you? I said, it's fine. And we closed the call in 3 minutes. That's a 3 minutes thing. I made the client happy. I could send my son to school. So that is the balancing that we have to learn. So things won't come to you. We have to go for it. Be open. Tell your employer, okay, this is what. And the employers, if they identify the skill set in you, definitely you will be considered. All your concerns will be considered. So the biggest thing, or the most important thing that we have to do for uh, you know, solving or you have to handle the situation is to give them the flexibility in work. Now, that will bring a lot of opportunities to a lot of change. And even with the ladies with career break, they are staying back only because they don't have this flex. They fear this flexibility. What if I come into tech industry? Like when I took after my maternity, when I was struggling with my child and work, I was asked my family and my relatives, you could have been a teacher. Why did you take up this? You could have taken a government job. 9 to 5, you can aram se come home and sit. So these are the, I was always criticized for being in the tech industry. What are you doing? You don't have a life. And at this point also, I've been criticized. What did you start a company? You could have been an employee. Aram se, why do you take all this headaches? So every point in our life, we will be facing these questions and we will have to prove that, that is wrong. And so that people get inspired and they also start taking that steps. So that is what
Since she said that much, because I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I've seen this. Like she said, I'm the next phase to her. I finished that. This is my pre-story you're telling. So the thing is that women think that a diversity sector is there to give them the luxury of what they're going through. It is never like that. See, when you come back from an office, you do everything. You have client meetings. You have to do that. You might have to run your home. You might not have even one single day, maybe your maid is off. You have to make a coffee of your own. Nobody gives you that luxury. Actually, in this particular system, if women is a part of a professional ecosystem, you don't have that luxury. I think you have to embrace that. But it doesn't mean that, your counterparts are not supporting you. Trust me, everybody are. But the point is that, like she said, one single thing that women have, they're multitaskers. They can do anything and everything. Even I had the same experience, like while I was having I was at home, I just took a day break because I travel a lot. So one day I just wanted one day off, 24 hours. So all of a sudden, one client from Australia, I think US or UK called me and he said that I want an urgent meeting. So I said, I can't have a Zoom meeting, but yeah, is it fine for you to have a call? He said, okay, fine. That day, unfortunately, my maid didn't come. Can you imagine the situation? So I'm just washing the utensils, and the background is that the water is pouring. Then the guy is asking me, is it raining out there? I said, yeah, heavily, heavily. Okay. That's what. You don't have the luxury because everything should go. Like, as they say, the show must go on. That is preferably, this precisely applicable to women. Again, diversity is not about women only. It's about, again, there are other diversified sectors also. We're talking about being a woman. We can talk all these things, but unfortunately we didn't get a person on the trans community as well. But what I feel is that they're facing more difficulties than even us. So at least we need to acknowledge that fact, we have lesser thing to address. So on that note, let's not take the luxury of being a woman. You get a privilege being in a diversity sector. Diversity doesn't promise anything like that. It is an opportunity to get your skill on board where everybody is there. If you're skilled, definitely you'll get an opportunity. And like she said, women are more passionate, they're loyal, they stick on. But again, the same thing is that they have marriage, they have maternity leaves, all these problems are there, which even they are trying, they're ready to address it. But unfortunately, the ecosystem, the ecosystem as such, their parents, their husbands, I don't know that part, how do we address? For that, women cannot address it. So for that, again, we are trying to educate people. I had a staff who was at an age of marriage. The mother is telling me, send my daughter 6:30 home. I asked her, ma'am, it's kind of like she has, the office is till 6 o'clock. She can't reach in 30 minutes. She cannot reach from Kakana to Kadavandra. She's telling me, see, the problem is that she's she's reaching her age of marriage. And what will I answer my, neighbors? How can a good relationship come for my daughter? I'm like, which world are you living, lady? But unfortunately, it is like that. And that girl was crying. Girl was literally crying in front of him because the mother is like, leave the job. If you can't reach home by 6:30, leave the job. She want to do that job. I have another case where the girl got pregnant. She was not happy about it. I asked her why, you need to be happy about it, being a mother. She's like, ma'am, my career is over. I said, who said your career is over? You can come anytime. You can join me. You're not leaving me. So we provided her everything where my entire staff were men. They reminded her to have fruits at time, and she's like, "Don't care me like this. I feel like I'm having something on my I'm becoming liability to you." But again, her people are not understanding the part. After that, once she had her baby, she didn't come back because her people were not letting her do that. So the problem is that it is not about women alone. This thing is something which the entire society has to address. So like she said, this is something which we are still figuring out what to do.
Thank you, both of you. Really wonderful listening to your experiences, and it was really inspiring for us, like how to tackle all these challenges. Yes, yes, exactly. So, even though we have spoke about many challenges faced by women, I think there are much more challenges faced by women in tech industry, and I would like to know about it and what's the current status of of diversity of women in tech, and also how much a community can contribute in building their careers and their professional things. So, over to Asha, ma'am.
First of all, thank you for inviting me and getting this opportunity. I'm actually new to this community. I am being a co-organizer of Magento Meetup Kochi. I do support the people who would come forward. And being a senior software engineer, we can see that many of them are on the path. But still, after, for example, when one of my colleagues said that I started my career at 10 years before, and one of my friend, she had left, got into marriage and had 2 kids, and after that, she is actually needing for a job, and she just pinged me and asked, "Is there any opportunity?" The career break that took is really a concept in the society. They are saying that, oh, this much of gap is there, now how can she start? Because there are more new people or the juniors with who are just pass out. They have more skill set and they are ready to take them. So in that case, this career gap really takes her out of this. But still, she is ready. So I'm saying that if someone who have the real skill set and have the opportunity or have the decision that I should come back to my career, I do tell them that let her take, let her show her skill set. It can be a good support for the her career and forward as well. And some of the challenges that I have faced is, as they said that in the beginning, when I started as a trainee, someone from the uh, management side that they were checking, oh, when we train them, will they be able to continue, or will they be able to move on? Because from as the part of company side, they should take the responsibilities, and also they are preferring us to have a long term. So they are saying, well, she get married soon, as she said that. So in that case, but there are many sponsors or supporters or mentors who really support the woman in the tech. And in such a case, that's why I am here actually, because throughout when I started my career, I have a team. And right now, after 10 years, I am still back with my team because I am comfortable in that area. And they do support us in all those areas. And in my company, CMOX, so they actually have many people who are from the female gender. So they do support. They don't consider them as a lower level or something. If they have a skill set, they are ready to grab it. And in that way, there are some points. And apart from that, also now due to this pandemic situations, we were having a work from home. And I'm so comfortable. And I'm saying that if we are productive in any area, even if we are in a company or even in the a house or work from home, they will really understand our situation and will give the right opportunities. If you have a skill set, you can grab it. And I'm also a mother of 7 years, a girl. So as they said that, we do have the opportunities. Even if you are having a mother role or a daughter role or any role, if you have the opportunity, you should grab it. And that's why I'm here. I'm really was here when I get this opportunity. I'm so happy that I can take this role because it's an opportunity for me. So whatever be the case, you can do that. And let your family members know that you are doing all this to improve your side. You can set up what are the time that you are having meetings, so that your work is not disturbed, and you should have a plan and schedule so that you can balance your work life as well as your life, I mean the personal life or the family life. So take the opportunities. I should support. And also apart from that, if some people are in the senior level, they should always, I'm sure that they will inspire other juniors also. So they will be letting them more into the steps. So I'm sure there are many challenges and also, but if you take the responsibility, definitely you can be in the position that you belongs to. No one can disturb in at any point. That's what I can say.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So now to Hida, ma'am, like being an independent web professional and the organizer of such a big fest like WordCamp Kerala 2023. So even though like as me, I'm here as a volunteer. It's just because of inspired from you, from a community meet. So I think this question can be best answered by you, like how much a community can influence a woman in tech, and like a WordPress community, how much it can influence.
Yeah, thank you for that question, Jaya. Talking specifically about WordPress community has strict policy towards diversity, equity, and inclusiveness. I think almost all of you know about that. Because now the tech industry knows the importance of diversity. I would, before talking about the community's role, I would like to add some more points to the importance of diversity in tech. The main thing is that tech industry represents a vast wide range of customers. It's not like any specific group or something. So to have a diverse workforce means we have opportunity, we have access to a wide range of skill sets, we have access to more creative group of people, different opinion, different perspectives. So a diverse workforce can really represent, really build a solution that is more acceptable by the customers. So ultimately, tech industry or organization means we need profit. So diversity, having a diverse workforce, definitely research shows that having a diverse workforce definitely improves or increase the profitability. So many organizations, many communities have identified that, and they are trying to implement many solutions, many method practices to improve the diversity in their organizations. But the thing is that I read somewhere around 80% or something. I don't know the correct statistics, but still many companies don't know where to start, or they know the practices, but still there are some difficulties, or they are having some difficulties in implementing these practices. The main thing is many of the employees or employers doesn't even think about the importance of this diversity, many employees especially. So when we try to implement diversity practices in a community or in a company, we may get a lot of questions like, is it necessary? Why is women is only getting this kind of importance, or why they do special mentoring? So there are a lot of questions arising. So the companies and organizations are, I think, it's a good time for the women or diverse group in the tech industry, because companies and organizations are trying to answer that question and trying to address that concerns of the majority, I mean the homogeneous team. So that is one thing. And like I said, a diverse workforce means a better solution. That's the main thing. So WordPress communities or any other communities, like tech communities, what they do is, whenever it comes to a WordPress community or any Magento community, people like me feel like, okay, I'm getting some benefit out of it, rather than just having a moral support or something. Other than that, I'm getting more technical support, especially from the people who can understand me. It's not a vast group. Recently, I tried to conduct some meetups for exclusively for women, and the feedback I got from that is, this is more comfortable, Hida, rather than having a common meetup with everybody. We feel like we are not part of that. We are not having that much level of expertise to be in that group. We feel like left out in that group. So having a close group within WordPress community or any other tech community, I think that is very, very helpful for the minority groups. And talking about WordPress community, there are many programs like diverse speaker training programs, and even there is workshops for organizers like me or anybody, so that they can conduct a meetup, a casual meetup or a conference or any other community events in a more inclusive way. To conduct a program like that, they are providing, the WordPress community team is providing workshops, so that we never leave out any minority people. And the main thing, something interesting I read in the WordPress community page is that it's not the responsibility of the marginalized people to figure out if we are welcome there, but instead it's the responsibility of the rest of the people to welcome, to make them feel like they are being part of it. Yes, yes, right. So that is something I found very interesting. And just like WordPress community, I think Magento, many other communities are now addressing this issue very seriously. And within the community, even if it's just a new feature thread or exchange, just discussion, there are also WordPress communities like WordPress community mention, okay, not even with the word we cannot harass or we cannot just suppress any minority, not even minority, anybody, but this kind of support the technical community that provides us, it really makes us feel like, okay, I can learn more easily, rather than in a very expertise, very high profile group, where we feel left out. In this welcome for friendly communities like WordPress, we feel like, okay, I can achieve more, I can learn more, I have access to more friendly ecosystem, more friendly communities. So that's the importance of communities like WordPress in empowering these minority groups, especially women or any other ethnicity group or something. And that's all I think about. Yeah, you would like to add something? Yeah.
I'm a part of a lot of communities, not only tech communities. So, see, the first thing is that diversity, it's not only women are there, because since we are women, we are talking about more about our problems because we are addressing. So at a point of time when we speak about diversity, many of the thing is women, because recently because I chair many organization which is women centric, because my journey is connected to that more. So I chair Women Innovator, CII, IWN, Wiki. Like I'm a part of at least 10 to 15 organizations. That's why community's role, I thought of, addressing it. So many even educated people, I mean community, still they have not identified that diversity doesn't mean only women. Because when I talk, I really understand many of them have not understood that. See, it's a question of diversity in the sense that there is trans community out there. There is differently able people out there. They are also left out. So whenever we speak, we are speaking about only women, because I mean, our section is in, I mean, compared to the total population, we are compared to be more, and we are trying to plunge into this industry. And I mean, at least we have started voicing, I mean, we're speaking out louder. We're like, we are here. But that community, the other two communities, what I'm talking about, the differently abled and the trans community, they are also finding it very, very difficult. So so definitely, like she said, communities can play a huge role, because especially when women from when they have a career break, like she said, the moment you bring them back in, the first question is that, see, technology has improvised, 10 years gap, what am I going to do with you women? And irrespective of all these things, you have liabilities, you have kids, you have family. So that point, that is where the communities address. There are so many companies, enterprises, corporates, even small and medium companies, even startups. We at FlexiCloud and Uria, we embrace that, because diversity is not something that you are embracing it just for the fact that government has rules, or these things are coming up. It is not. Diversity is actually, it's an anthem. You need to implement it, because this precise point she said, bringing in diversified sector adds flavors, because whoever it is, that everything a particular segment cannot do. If you speak about the creative part, the organizing part, even the business part, trust me, I'm seriously, I'm talking from my own experience. That part, as women can do, no other person can do. Simply putting, I'll tell you, women are known for their manipulation. Are they not? I mean, long back society was telling it. So if the negative part of, negative part is a manipulation, take the positive part. They're called the strategist. They're the ones who actually figure it out. Problem kahan pe hai? Where is it exactly the missing link? So that part, as she rightly said, the diversified flavors can be bought only by the diversified sectors. Definitely, what men can do is also huge. It's not, whenever we are speaking about diversity, people are confused that, are you wiping off men from the system? No, you can't. It's kind of like they're talking about diversity, everybody in, and embracing a community wherein everybody, and one more thing, like WordPress, there are other communities which really, really support all the diversified sectors, like differently abled or women, to come in, because everybody has understood, unless you have the entire system in, you won't grow, you won't scale. That is a reality, because because you're in business, either you take startups, you take enterprise or corporates, everything ultimately leads to business, because for us to access this particular thing is a must. It's not like it's a choice, it's again a must. So that part, when you have more and more people think in a different way, the solution automatically comes in, because problem comes from a situation. So if different mindset is there, which can think in different perspectives, that particular situation which creates that problem can be solved. Like she said about the people who are coming from a career break, if we can figure out why that situation is bringing that gap, so how would we enable them more? If that particular situation has been addressed, all the problems related to is completely solved. So I think communities play a very vital role in this, and more communities are coming out for it. But again, they are also confused what exactly the problem needs to be solved. So there we have to voice out, we have to bring it, this is a particular problem you're solving. Just now she mentioned somebody wants to come back to the career. But again, the question is that technology wise it is improvised. But what can we do? That is not one single woman's problem. It is 100 yeah.
There's a positive thing about this tech industry, because like they said, the career break is something that many of the women cannot avoid. But the thing is, even with the career break, tech industry is something more accessible, or tech industry have more easy entry points for all sort of people around the world, because it's easy to enter through a digital marketing or even WordPress. Anybody can learn WordPress coding and enter the tech industry. So there is a good thing many companies addresses now about this career break. We can see a lot of rebegin programs initiated by many MNCs like TCS, HP. Yeah. So those kind of programs, I think they provide 2 to 3 months of mentoring. They provide special training programs, specific, they identify our talent, they check our history, what kind of technology we are comfortable in. So that kind of programs are really booming nowadays. So being in a tech industry, it's more good for a woman, especially when we are having a career break, because nowadays even I'm on a career break now, but I'm feeling a bit relaxed because seeing all these kind of programs, I feel like, okay, after 1 more year, maybe I can easily start over. So that is a good point of tech industry. But the thing is, many IT companies still have to implement it, especially in India. Small scale companies doesn't have that kind of a thought process now. Maybe they have their reasons, limited resources, many reasons, but still it's happening in India also. So it's good to be in tech industry as a woman. I feel like it's good to be in tech industry.
So regarding the importance of community, so being in community, you will get answers for your technical questions also. So once a person is going to come step forward back to the career, if she is a beginner or he is a beginner, uh, she can pose the questions. And of course, there are skilled people inside the community who are not ready to come out or in front of a huge team. But they can silently support for all the help or docs that a person is needed for as a beginner. So definitely these communities can really help. And apart from being a woman or a gender discrimination, anyone who have a good it's that means it is an opportunity to help each other. It is not a high level or a beginner or anything. It is a good area where we need help. You will get it. I'm damn sure that that's why this right now here we have a lot number of people, because this community really helped them. And also a communication, a new relation can be created being in this tech field with all these communities. So that's it.
Yeah, I would like to add what Asha said. See, it is all that matters is opportunity and how we find the opportunity. It's like the rest of the things follow. So the identify the skill set, and we ourselves have to identify what we are. Look, once we are confident in that, so we should be place ourselves. We should be able to place ourselves in the right sector, and then automatically the other sector, the employer sector, the corporate sector will identify us. So that transition has to take place. If it is just, as Anuja rightly said, it's just not about women. When it is diversity, it's about everyone. The age should not be a factor. The race should not be a factor, because we have a historical, like initial the history itself, because every segment was handled by. For example, Vaishyas handled business. So we have a tradition of that. And when the technology era came into being, this was, ruled out. Actually, it was everyone together. So there are opportunities, not there are communities, there are opportunities, there are people who are ready to support this cause. It's this that the right, they are not able to connect with each other. So if that connection mechanism works fine, so everything will be sorted. So that's what I want to add, because the communities can be reachable. They have to find ways and find out if the initiatives that they are doing, just after event there's a follow-up done, and the real people are getting the benefit out of it, out of the community, out of the initiatives. So that's one thing I wanted to add.
So when Hari called me for this WordPress thing, and he said he wanted diversify, diversity talk. So I was like, okay, fine, because we're having a conversation on women in tech are not very promoted out here. So how do we do it? So I was just telling him, though the communities are there to support, every community's vision is actually completely entirely different, even when it comes to diversity also. So recently we decided that, we create a system of our own and then collaborate with other ecosystems. So in that, pursuit, I earlier, like I mentioned, I was more into women, supporting women more on different kind of activities and a lot of things like that. Then I met few people on the diverse. I met a friend called Sumit Agrawal, who was a differently able person. Then I met few people on the trans community. So I relatively understood that what we are addressing, they have a different problem to address, but again they have problems. So there, that made me think. I was very passionate about what I was building, because once the entrepreneurship journey started, and seeing different things. So again, like I said, serial entrepreneur. It's been I started in 2018, failed twice. So that failure taught me why exactly I was not getting an opportunity. So, but once I got into that path where I can handle things, I decided for sure I'll contribute back. So I started collaborating. That's why I said I chair many things. But even though when I started chairing, I understood that that's not in my control, because they have their own vision. It depends. So now we are in focus of creating something of our own called NEED, nurturing, enhancing, empowering diversity. We've collaborated with entire pan India, with corporates, with enterprises, with incubators, with accelerators, with organization that supports diversity. So we are bringing a common vision. That can be tech, that can be normal business, that can be MSMEs, that can be startups, but it stands for one vision. It's diversity, how you can give diversity an opportunity. So we are planning to do a program again on July or August, because it requires a lot of time, because this diversity, it's not a single word which you can define. It's not women anymore. It's not trans community anymore. It's not differently. It is beyond that, because we started thinking that why exactly we need to embrace it, and why this is a necessity. This is no more a kind of things you're adding on to it. This is something which is integral part in anything and everything. Whether even it is in your, no matter your professional life, even in your personal life, if you don't embrace diversity, trust me, you can't go ahead. I've experienced it. I'm going through it, and the energy that brings I mean that it brings, it comes to you. It's very different, because you get to learn a lot of things which you're never aware of. Like I said, I never knew like what is the problem this trans community is facing. Unless you meet that system, that you learn that, my God, we are not the only ones. It's a huge, and even every segment, every sector is facing something. So together, as they say, team together, everyone can achieve more. And together, everybody rise. It's a together we rise thing. So I think the one single definition which I would say for diversity is that together we rise. Everybody. Okay, I think I'll conclude with that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Like, since we are having time constraint, I'm not asking more questions, but it's really like informative. And now over to the audience. Is there any quick question? Okay, since we are already, yeah, okay, one question.
So I I have more of an observation than a question. Um, because this is a WordPress event, I have started using an analogy for diversity that a lot of people don't use. Um, when we talk about diversity, I think we treat it as like categories of people in separate silos, instead of instead of treating them like multitudes, which we are. So I think that it's less about putting people in categories but using tags. So you could be a man, but you could have a disability, or you could be neurodivergent, or you could be a trans man. So it comes with the privileges of being a man, but you still are part of a marginalized community. Or you could be a woman who is experiencing a career break, so that is a tag. Or you could be a woman who is trans, or who has kids at home, or has a disability, or you could be non-binary, or you could be neurodivergent, or all of these. I think you can't put people in uh, clearly defined categories, and the only way we're going to be able to like make diversity, I think, is that we understand that people are not silos of completely separate features, but are like in like an intersection of all of these different things, and that's the only way we are going to be able to like do anything about this. I really enjoyed like everybody's views on how, like, you know, career breaks and having kids at home. And I think that what the pandemic has taught us, that most jobs can be done from home. And that is, see, that's one of the things. Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things that, like, you know, that has propelled diversity a little forward, because now more people who were not able to like go to traditional offices, like people who use wheelchairs or people who have kids at home, they can also participate in the industry. And like, I think it's just a beautiful thing. Thank you all for your views. Yeah.
Okay.
So we discussed about diversity and in sense of like career break, right? So when you take a career break, it's mostly physical. You've broken your leg or you've gotten kids or something like that. But a lot of times it's hard for women, and especially like anybody who've gone through trauma and need break from the trauma, or like, you know, are neurodivergent, especially women who are neurodivergent are so underdiagnosed that most of them just are called, you know, men or tomboy or like lazy. And and I'm neurodivergent, and I have CPTSD, and a lot of times my employer would ask me, why did you take a career break? And for me to explain that, it's a whole different conundrum. And so my question here is that how do we battle this? I mean, diversity is not only physical, right? It's
True.
also mental.
Again, the thing is that, you know, said no silos, because we can't put anything into, like, you know, physical, mental. Problem is always a problem, whether it is physical or a mental thing. And like you rightly said, it is a society, it is a cliche society who has put it like, you know, men are like this, women are like this. See, it's trans community came later on, but before that, I'm talking about the before thing. Okay, a woman needs to be modest. She should not do these things. She should do these things. He should do these things. He don't need to do these things. So these are basically something which has been, like, you know, lines drawn. Rightly, like she's put. I really like the way she put it in. Why silos? For what silos? We've reached to that level of digital innovation beyond it. We have, I don't know, by 2030, like as Netflix, they see, you know, we might be traveling in space, like idhar ka udhar, where, you know, we travel in moon, go for a vacation, we come back. We have reached there. But still, our mindset, where it is, like you rightly said, its question is that why are women throwing more energy? The question, I rightly understood that thing. I'm not very tomboyish, but I have this reflecting of energy because I speak, I voice out. So the question is that why exactly you bring problem? The question is that I'm not bringing problem. I am raising something. I'm talking something. How can we address this? I'm talking about a situation. So when I address situation, the question is, the finger raised is like, oh my God, a problem came in. So the question, again, my thing is that why when I am talking, this thing is coming, and why is it my energy? See, it's a problem of energy, dude. It's not about men, women, or any community, because we're not, again, two different sectors. Like she rightly said, no silos. Again, God knows what sector would come in. So, but it's again society judging us, because society is always judgmental. So if somebody cannot go by your line, the only thing what I feel is that change the line. I believe in blue ocean strategy. I'm a strategist basically. So rather than fighting in that red ocean bath pool, let's get into summer thing. If they can't accept it, it is not our problem. It is because it is like that. But I'll put it across you. Today, people want more women who are energetic, because system to go move ahead, you need to bring in energy, whether it is a man or a woman, because time is something which is not under our control. The moment you don't take a right decision, there is somebody who's take a decision over there. Today it's not a competition. It is kind of like, you know, seconds. In seconds you have to decide. You have not given that luxury to think and, you know, to come up with by the time things go from your hand. So it's not a problem of, like, you know, they say that, oh God, tomboy, or mentally, if you really need a break, just take a break. That's it. And come back. Because if somebody wants to do it, they will do it, irrespective of what. So I think whether it's physical problem or a mental problem, anytime you want to come in, you might have to like rightly Nisha said, that opportunity you have to figure it out. Maybe you're looking in the wrong place. Maybe you're looking in the in a place where you cannot align your thoughts. So figure out where do you align your thought. It might take time, but that is the hard work you have to do, because again, it's a matter of choice.
Yeah, it's
choice.
called being self-aware, right?
I want to add to this. We need to unlearn things basically. That is what we have to do. We are trained in such a way. In a meeting, if a man can ask, okay, man can say, we will change the order of we'll change the priority of the task. So a woman is expected to say, it would be good if we can change the priority of the task. If a woman is going to ask, okay, change the priority, if that please is not used, she becomes, she becomes a tandedi, in Malayalam we say tandedi, ahangari, everything, all the tags come along. But then one thing that is none of them, the arrogance come, and none of the men, one sad thing is, even the men sitting in the room, they are not forcing us to say like that. They have changed. We also have to change. We have to unlearn things,
That patriarchal society is not again women. Trust me, it is not that, because patriarchal society is comprised of so many people. So I don't understand why it is not always the finger goes to man. Okay, it's not fighting men no more diversity or anything speaks about. Even feminism doesn't speaks of that. I don't understand why people speak about like, wipe off men. What wipe off men? It's not about that. Diversity never has ever. It said that bring in an opportunity because that workforce was not there before. Because the gender was that before. So now to bring more workforce into each of these segments, we don't need silos anymore. Let's together bring it. Skill. It is a matter of skill, and it is a matter of who can take the opportunity at the right time. Time also matters.
I think we have already run out of time. So I think we can conclude our event. So thank you for joining us in the panel, and it was a really wonderful, like your answers were really informative, and as we have said, so many nodding faces because we can relate the situation to ourselves. So thank you.